6:21 now, 1320 WILS. Let's talk more about what happened last night, the Republican debate in Las Vegas. My next guest was there, Debbie Georgatos, political strategist. Find her at ladiescanwetalk.org. Debbie, always great to have you here.
Mike, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. So what was it like being there in Vegas for this?
It was very, very fun. You know, my husband and I went, and we stayed in the Venetian, and the entire place felt political. The entire hotel. There weren't really protesters, but there were just a lot of people around. A lot of them trying to look and see if they saw somebody follow somebody else. So it was very exciting to be there.
Yeah. Did it? I mean, you're in Vegas. Did you feel like you were watching like the Cirque du Soleil or some kind of Vegas show there?
No, it was. Sometimes has those kind of show-like qualities, yes. Yeah, it does. It's Vegas is well, I know we're not here to talk about Las Vegas, but it's an amazing city. We don't ever vacation there, but it really was quite an interesting place.
What was the highlight of the debate for you? At what point did you think this is really the pinnacle here?
Wow. You know, I will say I really liked, and I don't mean to sound unkind about it, but I really liked a little bit of the exchange of, I don't want them fighting and back and forth endlessly, but I like some of the exchanges. I thought they were healthy between Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz. I think there are some differences. It was kind of good to attempt to sort them out. I don't know among your listeners who they would think won, but I think there are differences and there have been accusations flying around in ads that are put up by the PACs and statements by the candidates. And it's a chance to make them face each other a little bit. I thought that was kind of okay.
Well, who do you think between the two of them came out better in the debate?
I think because of Rand Paul going after Marco Rubio so much and pointing out his Gang of Eight thing, I think that by the end of the debate, probably Rubio had been hurt a little more. That's always my sense of it.
What did you think when Chris Christie said, look, whatever you guys are talking about, no one's really paying attention. This is all inside the Beltway stuff you're discussing.
You know, he has said that in other debates, too, and I have the feeling more than ever last night that Chris Christie's kind of right about that. I think that there are, people who are really tuned into every word every candidate says. They're waiting to see the next follow-up point made. But, I think this debate almost got a little bit redundant, feeling a little bit repetitive. People kind of know where these candidates stand on these various issues because they talk about them all the time. And, I was thinking if I was just a non-political person with barely any time to pay attention to politics, I just want someone to make me feel safe. I want someone to make me to believe that I'll do everything I can to prevent a San Bernardino happening again. I think, yeah.
Being in the room there, by the way, Debbie Georgatos, political strategist, ladiescanwetalk.org is her website. Who did you think the crowd there inside the auditorium supported?
I think there were a lot of Rubio fans there. I think there were a lot of Rubio people. They were kind of loud. And there were some Trump people, too. I think those two probably had the biggest crowd there. I did see some of the Ted Cruz people afterward. I saw quite a few of them, so I know that he had a bunch of people that had, in fact, I think the Cruz campaign has new shirts now, something about maniac. I'm a maniac, right, because of what Donald Trump said. So.
Well, in fact, that came up during the debate, and, well, here's how the two of them responded.
Just this weekend, you said Senator Cruz is not qualified to be president because he doesn't have the right temperament and acted like a maniac when he arrived in the Senate. So why would you be willing to put somebody who's a maniac one heartbeat away from the presidency? But I've gotten to know him over the last 3 or 4 days. He has a wonderful temperament. He's just fine. Don't worry about it. Okay. Senator Cruz, you have not been willing to attack Mr. Trump in public, but you did question his judgment.
So, I mean, it sounds like it turned into a comedy show. What did you make of their interaction?
I really thought it was very significant, actually, that Donald Trump had decided just a few days before this debate to refer to Senator Cruz as a maniac and how he was referring to his conduct of his holding office in the Senate and that he was a maniac. And this debate, I mean, honestly, when I was hearing that, what I thought was, gosh, somebody on Donald Trump's team told him, you know what, I would back off of Ted Cruz. This isn't smart. back off because it was such an immediate 180 from just a few days before. And so I thought, I would love to know why. I don't know why.
Is this are they going to be able to keep this up, this chumminess that we were seeing between the two of them?
I think they both think it's healthy for them not to criticize the other. Mm-hmm. And as I think we've talked before, this is one thing that Ted Cruz said at the start of his campaign: I will not attack the other candidates. He pretty much hasn't. And if I could say one other thing about this attacking each other, I don't know, Mike, if you and I talked right after that tape came out that was Ted Cruz is at a fundraiser somewhere and he made some remarks.
Yeah, he said gravity will bring Trump down eventually, right?
Yeah. I have to say, I didn't think that sounded all that harsh. And I think, when Donald Trump jumped on him, if he's going to say that, and they went on his maniac thing. But I really thought, rethinking more, Donald Trump thought, that wasn't such a bad thing to say. And I thought Cruz kind of said, hey, I'm kind of saying the same thing here, that people will decide. Now, I don't know.
It didn't seem like they really went after him over the banning Muslims comment, although Jeb Bush confronted him on that. Who was the winner in that exchange?
That is really hard to say. I think that's a very, not to say it's the obvious political thing, because I think there is a portion of the electorate that thinks that was the craziest thing ever to say, and so they like Jeb Bush for getting after him. But there are a lot of voters who are saying, I don't want to hear any more nuanced policy. I'm tired of watching ISIS. I'm tired of watching all this other Islamist jihadist conduct, and I'm tired of watching things like San Bernardino, so I don't want to hear nuanced things, so they're just not bothered. In fact, I think Trump's numbers went up after he said that, so I really think it depends on who you like to start with.
Right. Carly Fiorina, did she make any progress last night?
I have to say, I thought she had a very strong night, but I thought she did a very good job. I'm going to guess her poll numbers won't really move very much. The problem is there are just too many people this year, and it sounds silly to say, but there are just too many, and so you need a reason. If you've locked on to one of the front runners, you need a really big reason to jump to somebody else. And Carly Fiorina, I thought, handled herself well. Yeah. She just always comes across as informed, but I didn't see anything she said that would cause someone who's latched on to Donald Trump or Marco Rubio or Ted Cruz to say, now I'm going to jump over to Carly. I don't think she accomplished that.
Ben Carson also mentioned that he wasn't being given as many questions as some of the other candidates. What do you think he rebounded potentially last night?
It's a funny thing. I did not think so. In fact, I made a comment afterwards that, gosh, he just never really, except for one point near the end, he pretty much didn't find his footing, I didn't think, or didn't take off. But I saw several commentators saying today that he came back and came on strong. Mm-hmm. I just think my sense is the further along we go in this, and the more people are concerned about security, he has a long way to go to convince people he's the guy, and that's going to be among the top issues in 2016 is who can make us safe.
Yeah. I noticed every time Rand Paul was being cheered, it sounded like someone was screaming. Did you catch that inside there?
Oh, you mean someone inside the room?
Yeah, I could literally hear. I mean, it wasn't just clapping. I mean, the cheering was almost strange. It didn't sound right to me, but maybe it wasn't noticeable in the auditorium.
Well, I will say I think that some of the supporters of other candidates were being a tiny bit disruptive when Rand Paul spoke. I don't think it was his own people, but I could be wrong. I can't really tell. And we haven't really jumped on Rand Paul very much, but I thought he was the most impressive. He was sometimes impressive more than he has at other times. He kept his voice a little more even. He didn't do he can, I think, easily sound a little bit whiny. I don't think he sounded that way, but I still have the sense kind of in this era and this time with all that we're alarmed about, he doesn't give you a reason to say, yes, he's identifying the biggest problem there is, that she keeps saying, is the economy. And he didn't grab people, I don't think.
Debbie Georgatos, political strategist, the website, ladiescanwetalk.org. Debbie, thank you very much.
Mike, love being on your show. Thank you so much.
When we come back, Robert Spencer, director of